I'm taking back a very precious thing with me to India, which India deserved. It was long due in shooting.
The entire nation is really proud of you, Manu Bhaka. Hello everyone. The previous few days have been buzzing with one word, and that is the Paris Olympics. These modern Olympic Games are the pinnacle of international sporting events, showcasing summer and winter sports competitions with participation from thousands of athletes around the world. Over 200 teams representing sovereign states and territories compete in these games, which have evolved significantly since their inception. So let's try and understand how did these games came into existence, what are the main features of the Olympics, and most importantly, how did India fare at these games. This video is divided into three parts. In the first part, we'll be looking at India's journey in the Olympics since 1900. In the second part, we'll be understanding how did these games originated. And in the third part, we'll look at all the major structural and organizational features of the Olympics. So let's begin our video with India's journey. India's journey in the Olympic Games is a story of passion, perseverance, and progress. From their first participation in the 1900 to their modern day achievements, India's presence in the Olympics has evolved significantly. India's Olympic journey began in the 1900 with Norman Pritchard, who won 2 silver medals in the athletics under the 200-meter hurdles race, becoming the first Indian to win the Olympic medal. Now, despite under the British rule, India competed separately from the British Olympic team. And at the 1920 Antwerp Olympics, India officially entered into the Olympics under the British rule. The athletes there participated in the athletic events and the wrestling events. After the 1924 Olympics, there was establishment of the Indian Olympic Association to promote and organize India's participation in the Olympics. And then came the golden era of Indian hockey, which began in 1928 and it flared till 1956. So at the 1928 Amsterdam Olympics, India won its first gold medal in the field of hockey, and the team was led by the legend, the Major Dhyan Chand. He remained unbeaten and did not concede a single goal. Then at the 1932 Los Angeles Olympics and the 1936 Berlin Olympics, India continued its dominance with consecutive gold medals. Major Dhyan Chand, also known as the Wizard, played a crucial role in these victories. At the 1948 Olympics, India again won gold medal in hockey in the post-independence era. It was a symbol of national pride after gaining independence in the 1947. At the 1952 Helsinki and 1956 Melbourne Olympics, India secured more gold medals in hockey, and Balbir Singh Sr. emerged as a key player. Now we'll look at the individual achievements as well. So at the 1952 Olympics, KD Jadhav's wrestling bronze. At the 1960 Rome Olympics, Milkha Singh, who was also known as the Flying Sikh, narrowly missed a medal in the 400-meter final. And at the 1972 Munich Olympics, wrestler KD Jadhav won bronze medal in freestyle wrestling. Now let's have a glance at the modern era Olympics and diverse achievement, precisely from the 1980s to the present. So at the 1980 Moscow Olympics, it was the last gold medal for the hockey team. In the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, Leander Paes won a bronze medal in tennis, ending a long individual medal drought. At the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Karanam Malleshwari won a bronze in weightlifting, the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal. At the 2004 Athens Olympic, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore won a silver medal in shooting. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, Abhinav Bindra won India's first individual gold in shooting. Boxers Vijendra Singh and wrestler Sushil Kumar also won bronze at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. At the 2012 London Olympics, India won 6 medals, including 2 silvers and 4 bronze. Now, the significant achievements were there in shooting, wrestling, badminton, and boxing. At the 2016 Rio Olympics, PV Sindhu won silver medal in badminton and Sakshi Malik won bronze in wrestling. At the 2020 Olympics, held in 2021, India won 7 medals, their highest tally ever. Neeraj Chopra won gold in javelin throw, the first athletic gold for India, and Meerabhai Chanu won the silver medal in weightlifting. Ravi Kumar Dhaiya won silver in wrestling, and several others contributed to the rally. So basically, Team India at the Paris Olympics 2024 boasts a blend of seasoned veterans and promising young athletes. With the nation's growing investment in sports infrastructure and training, the Indian contingent is poised to make a significant impact at the global stage. Now that we know the prowess and the might of the Team India at the Paris Olympic 2024, let's look at the Olympic Games, about their origin and what they really represents. The Olympic Games are a symbol of international unity and athletic prowess. They have a rich history that dates back over 2 millennia. Now, the Olympic Games originated in the ancient Greece from the 8th century BC to the 4th century AD. These ancient games were deeply rooted in Greek culture and were a series of athletic competitions among representatives of various city-states. The first recorded Olympic Games were held in 1776 BCE. The ancient Olympics were a part of festival dedicated to Zeus, the king of the Greek gods. This festival include not only athletic competition but also religious ceremonies and artistic exhibitions. The games were held every 4 years, a tradition that has persisted into the modern era as well. The ancient Olympic Games featured a variety of events that tested the athletic skills of the competitors. These events included running races, combat sports, equestrian events, and a pentathlon, that is, a combination of 5 events including long jump, javelin throw, discus throw, stadium race, and wrestling. The ancient Olympic Games continued for nearly 12 centuries until they were abolished in 393 CE by the Roman Emperor Theodosius I. The games were seen as pagan festival, and Theodosius sought to promote Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. The site of Olympia gradually fell into despair, and the tradition of Olympic Games faded into obscurity. So by far we have seen Team India's preparation for the Paris Olympics and how did the Olympics originated. Now let's look at the revival of the mighty Olympics. The Olympic Games were revived in the 19th century largely due to the efforts of Pierre de Coubertin, mind my accent, a French educator and historian. Inspired by the ideals of the ancient Olympics, Coubertin proposed the idea of an international multi-sports event to promote peace and unity through athletics. His vision led to the establishment of International Olympic Committee in the year 1894, and the first modern Olympic Games were held in 1896 in the city of Athens, Greece. Since their revival, the Olympic Games have grown exponentially in size and scope. The inaugural modern Olympics featured 241 athletes from 14 countries competing in some 43 events. Today, the game attracts thousands of athletes from over 200 nations competing in a wide array of summer and winter sports. By now, we know about the origin and the revival of the Olympics. So let's get a brief understanding about the structure and machinery that is required to organize such a mammoth event. The first major part or the coil of this machinery is the International Olympic Committee. Baron de Coubertin founded the International Olympic Committee in 1894, as I mentioned earlier. The IOC, as the governing body, plays a crucial role in overseeing the Olympic movement. It is responsible for organization and governance of the Olympic Games, and at the same time, it defines the rules and guidelines through the Olympic Charter and makes critical decisions such as selecting the host cities and approving the sports that are included in the Olympic program. Now, there's one thing that I would like to mention is that the Olympics are never held in a country. It's always held in a city. Basically, a city is chosen for the games and not the country. The second important coil in the machinery is the Olympic movement, and it comprises of three main elements. The first is the international federations. Now, these federations are the governing bodies that oversee sports at the international events. For example, FIFA is an international federation for football. The second part is National Olympic Committees. Now, these committees manage Olympic activities within individual countries. For example, Russian Olympic Committee represents Russia. The third part is the organizing committees for the Olympic Games, which are referred to as OCOGs. The fourth part is the Olympic Organizing Committee, representing the Olympic Committee. The fifth part is the organizing committees for the Olympic Games, which are referred to as OCOGs. The sixth part is the organizing committees for the Olympic Games, which are referred to as OCOGs. They are temporary committees responsible for organizing each edition of the Games, and they are dissolved after the Games once their final report is delivered to the IOC. I believe that till now you guys have a brief understanding about the origin, the revival, the structural functioning of the Olympics. Now, we will look at the various Olympic Games and their variants. The Olympic movement has expanded to include several variants of the traditional games. Some of them are Winter Olympic Games. Now, they focus on sports performed on snow and ice. Second is the Paralympic Games. They are for athletes with disabilities. The third is the Youth Olympic Games. They are for young athletes aged between 14 to 18 years. The fourth is the Continental Games. For example, the Pan America, Africa, Asia, Europea, and Pacific Games. The fifth is the World Games. Now, they are for sports which are not included in the Olympics. The sixth is the Deaflympics or Special Olympics, and they are endorsed by the IOC to support athletes with hearing impairments and intellectual disabilities, respectively. Let's look at the Olympic symbols and the rituals. The Olympic symbols represents the values and ideals of the games. The first symbol is the Olympic rings. 5 interlocked rings symbolizing the unity of the 5 inhabited continents, which are Africa, America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. The colors of these rings are blue, yellow, black, green, red on a white field represents all national flags. The second is the Olympic flag. It was adopted in 1914 and first flown in the 1920 Antwerp Games. Olympic motto. The Olympic motto, which is Citius, Altius, and Fortius, meaning faster, higher, and stronger, encapsulates the spirit of athletics excellence and was introduced by de Courtebin in 1924. The ceremonies. The Olympic Games are marked by elaborate opening and closing ceremonies featuring the parade of nations, cultural displays, and the lighting of the Olympic flame, a tradition which was started in 1928 Amsterdam Games. The honor of hosting the Games is bestowed upon a city and not a country, as I mentioned earlier. Cities apply through their national government and IOC makes the final decisions. So I hope this video was informative enough for you guys to understand what the Olympics are, how Olympics happen, and how India fared in these games. Thank you so much for watching the video and stay tuned for the upcoming one.